In this lesson, you will learn how to divide polynomials. When you're dividing polynomials, it depends on whether you're dividing by a monomial, which is one term, or a binomial, which is two terms or more. So if you have a monomial, you can just split this up and then use the quotient rule. So like for number one, I have negative 4a to the third over 2a plus 12a over 2a minus 6 over 2a. Okay, so divide each term. Negative 4 divided by 2 is a negative 2. Subtract your exponents. 3 minus 1 is 2. Do the same thing here. 12 divided by 2 is 6, and my a's will cancel. Here, I can do negative 6 divided by 2 is negative 3, but I don't have an a to combine with, so leave that a in the denominator. And that's as far as you can go. When you're dividing by a binomial, we're going to need to use long division. So remember when you're doing long division, like if I wanted to divide 6 and say 16, I would do 6 goes into 16 2 times. 2 times 6 is 12, and then you would subtract. This would be your remainder. So that's the same concept we're going to use to do this. Okay, so for this one, whatever is in the denominator will go outside. So I have my x plus 2 on the outside, and then on the inside you want to put what's on your numerator, but you can't have any missing terms. By that I mean your exponents need to be going in order. So I have x squared, so x to the first power should be next, and then there's no x. So on this one I don't have any missing terms, so I'm going to go ahead and write it. If you have a missing terms, you need to fill it out with a0. So then you divide your first terms. X goes into 2x squared how many times? It's probably easier to go on the side and do 2x squared over x so you can see it. If I divide this will equal 2x because I would subtract my exponent. So that would equal 2x. You put that on top. Then multiply your 2x by both terms. So 2x times x is 2x squared. 2x times 2 is 4x. So after we multiplied here, we subtracted. So that's what you're going to do. Remember, when you're subtracting your polynomials, you need to change your sign. So let's go ahead and do that. So I'm going to change that sign to a minus, change that one to a negative. So now when I do this, this will cancel. That's what you want. And then I have 13 plus negative 4 is a 9x. And we would drop the 15 down. Once you get here, you repeat the process. Now you need to divide 9x divided by x. That will be 9. 9 times x is 9x. 9 times 2 is 18. Change your signs. This first term will cancel. That's what you want. 15 plus negative 18 is a negative 3. How would you write this answer? You would write whatever's on your numerator. So we have 2x plus 9. Then bring your denominator minus 3, not your denominator, your remainder over your denominator, so x plus 2. If your remainder is 0, you don't need to do that part, but this is how your final answer would look. I've gone over the steps of, I've summarized the steps of doing long division in the notes that you might want to look at. Let's do another example. So here the denominator goes outside, the 3a plus 2. And then the numerator goes inside. Make sure there's no missing terms. 3, 2, 1, no a, so I don't have missing terms, so drop these down. Okay, then start dividing. 3a, 9a to the third. I'm definitely going to do that one on the side, so I have 9a to the third over 3a. 9 divided by 3 is 3. Subtract your exponents. 3 minus 1 is 2. So that's 3a squared. So I have 3a squared. Now I need to multiply. 3a squared times 3a is 9a to the third. You typically will always get this. 3a squared times 2 is 3 times 2 is 6. And then I'm just going to keep my a squared. Change those signs. That's gonna cancel. Negative 3 plus negative 6 is negative 9a squared. Drop down the next term and then repeat. So now I have negative 9a squared over 3a. Negative 9 divided by 3 is negative 3. Subtract those exponents to get 8. So I get negative 3a. Then multiply. Negative 3a times 3a is negative 9a squared. See, again, we got the same thing. Negative 3a times 2 is a negative 6a. Change those signs. So negative 9 plus 9 is 0. Negative 3 plus 6 is 3a. Drop your last term and repeat. 3a divided by 3a is 1. Anything divided by itself is 1. 1 times 3a is 3a. 1 times 2 is 2. Change those signs. So that's going to cancel. 4 plus negative 2 is 2. That's your final answer. So it would be 3a squared minus 3a plus 1. Then I have my remainder plus 2 over your denominator, 3a plus 2. Okay, let's do another example. So here I have on the outside, I'm going to put my x minus 6. Check your missing terms. I have x squared. Next should be x. I don't have an x, so I'm going to add 0x as a filler. And then the last term is minus 36. Do not forget about that because you're going to get the answer wrong. So now I'm ready to divide. X squared divided by x is x. X times x is x squared. X times negative 6 is negative 6x. Change your signs. That's going to cancel. 0 plus 6 is 6x. Drop that 36. 6x divided by x. 6x over x is just 6. So that's a positive 6. 6 times x is 6x. 6 times negative 6 is negative 36. Change the signs. That's going to cancel. Negative 36 plus 36 is 0. So this one I don't have a remainder. My answer would just be x plus 6 because I got 0 as a remainder. That is how we divide polynomials.